All local, all morning. This is Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
What it sounded like for me, and I've never been in an earthquake or anything, but a shake, a big thump. What startled me was all the spray of the glass.
You see it there, a really scary scene in New Britain after a car slammed into a building. 2 people were hurt. In a few minutes, you're going to hear from more witnesses who saw it all happen. Good morning to you. We have a lot on tap today. We're glad you're checking in. I'm Erica Arias.
And I'm Bridget Bjorla. Pretty mild start to the day, but things are changing later on in the week. We won't talk about that yet. We're going to enjoy the warmth while it's here. Hey, Rachel, how's it looking?
It's going to be another nice one out there today. Yay. A little bit cooler than yesterday, but still overall very comfortable and still above average temperatures. Our expected highs yesterday were around 68 degrees, or at least 65 over in southeastern Connecticut. So a little bit cooler there to around 79 up towards Windsor Lock. So definitely warm. Right now we're starting off fairly mild at 62 degrees in Hartford, New Haven at 59. We do have a mostly cloudy sky this morning, but for the most part, those clouds are going to clear by the late morning and early afternoon. So we are starting warmer than this time yesterday. Those clouds acting as a blanket, trapping in some of the heating of the day yesterday. 65 in Waterbury, 60 degrees in Torrington now, and 60 out the door in Willimantic. Good morning to you. Wind speeds out of the northwest, 5 to about 10 miles per hour currently, but over time, those winds are going to kick back in. So late morning, early afternoon, they're gusting towards about 20 to 25 miles per hour. So at the bus stop, we have a partly to mostly cloudy sky, but by the afternoon, that sun emerges. Temperatures will be up around 68 to about 70 degrees, and that's really going to be statewide. We have the yard goats in town today. First pitch is at 7:10, 64 degrees at 7 o'clock, and then as that sun goes down, temperatures slide into the 50s, and then overnight we'll be in the 40s to wake up to for Thursday. Thursday afternoon, a partly cloudy sky. We are anticipating less wind for our Thursday with highs back up around 70 degrees. For our Friday, we do bring in an opportunity for some scattered showers and storms. We'll have more details on that. Plus, unfortunately, we do have some changes to talk about in the weekend coming up in just a bit. 6:02 right now, and on the roads, we are looking across the state, and we do have various road work that's starting to wrap up at this hour. So over in New Britain on Route 9, you can see those reds on your screen this morning and yellows, indication of those slowdowns, and you'll see that here as we have one lane that is open at this point plus the shoulder, and then that left lane is closed out by 35 and 36 because of that road work. Otherwise, Meriden 691 did have some earlier road work that has cleared. We're in the clear there. New Haven and Branford on 95 are looking good with light volume at this hour. Bridget and Erica.
To see that, Rachel, thank you. Middletown's mayor says Immigration and Customs Enforcement, better known as ICE, was on the ground in his city yesterday and even took one man into custody.
Fox 61's Keith McGilvery is live in Middletown now with what we know so far about what happened there. Keith, good morning.
Erica and Bridget, good morning. Mayor Ben Florsheim says that arrest happened here at the Middletown courthouse. This morning, Middletown Mayor Ben Florsheim is looking for answers. He says U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, or ICE, took one man into custody Tuesday after similar actions in cities across the country. The mayor says several city employees watched a group of individuals arrest the man after they got out of an unmarked black SUV. He says some of them had clothing that identified them as FBI. Another had a black bandana that covered most of his face and what looked like a police vest. The move comes just days after President Trump issued a series of executive orders on immigration.
It's quite simple. Obey the law, respect the law, and don't obstruct federal immigration officials and law enforcement officials when they are simply trying to remove public safety threats from our nation's communities.
The first executive order called for a list of, quote, sanctuary cities that are not cooperating with federal immigration enforcement. The second called for more resources for police and makes it easier for authorities to detain migrants. Erica and Bridget, we're told the man who was arrested out here yesterday was at the courthouse for a scheduled court appearance. As for Middletown police, they say they were not made aware of this arrest ahead of time, but confirmed after the fact that ICE was in fact involved. The mayor says he's been in contact with Senator Chris Murphy and Attorney General Tong to try to determine where things go from here. So it is a story we were following throughout the morning. But for now, in Middletown, I'm Keith McGilvery, Fox 61.
All right, Keith, thanks for the update. We'll check back for sure. Well, meantime, at 6:05, as the president marked his 100th day in office yesterday, lawmakers here in Connecticut had plenty of opinions about the administration's priorities when it comes to immigration and the economy. The opinions on how good or bad they've been are sharply divided by party affiliation. A lot of state Republicans say they support the administration, while Connecticut Democrats are criticizing the administration.
We've seen economic policies that are ultimately impacting business. We see right now businesses that were planning to make investments and to be hiring are stalling those investments because of the lack of certainty in the future.
I still support the administration, and we ultimately have to see, though, ultimately the direction this country goes. But we're ultimately interested in what we can directly control in the here and the now, and that should be the focus.
Lawmakers said that they're also concerned about recent funding freezes to programs like Head Start Preschool and potential cuts to Medicaid.
Time right now is 6:06 on your Wednesday morning. A car crashed into a building on West Main Street in downtown New Britain.
2 people were hurt there in that crash. Fox 61's Kay Pattyfoot spoke with witnesses who saw the whole thing.
Downtown New Britain was shaken up literally Tuesday evening after a crash on West Main Street. It all started here at this intersection in the stoplight above. People say that the driver was being honked at multiple times, and when he hit the gas, he went straight into the gallery. According to city officials, a Denali SUV crashed into 66 West Main Street Tuesday evening and hit a pedestrian. Adrienne Elliott is one of the managing curators of the gallery in downtown New Britain. She witnessed the chaotic crash while inside the building that got hit. She's not the only one in downtown New Britain who was rattled. Hayel Ahmed owns Deli Delights, and while finishing up paperwork, he also saw the crash.
What it sounded like for me, and I've never been in an earthquake or anything, but a shake, a big thump. What startled me was all the spray of the glass.
I was parked at the red light. People started beeping behind him. He was just stood there. Then he just went straight to the middle of the road and then hit the gas pedal straight. And then he drove over the vase. Once he drove over, there was a lady walking by. She came out the Boost mobile store. She was walking by, and he ended up hitting her, and he ended up colliding into the building where the pole is, so he just went into the building.
City officials tell us that the woman who was hit suffered life-threatening injuries, but she is stable. People that I spoke with are wishing her a speedy recovery. In New Britain, Kay Pattyfoot, Fox 61.
Okay, thanks for that update there. One person was hurt when 3 cars crashed on Route 9 in Berlin. 2 of those cars caught fire. State police say it happened just before 4 yesterday afternoon on the northbound side, just before the on-ramp from Christian Lane. Firefighters say 1 person was taken to the hospital to get checked out. The highway was shut down for a little while during rush hour, but it has since reopened.
And time now is 6:08. The man who pleaded guilty to the death of Trooper First Class Aaron Pelletier learned his fate. Alex Oyola Sanchez will spend the next 18 years behind bars. But Tuesday's sentencing didn't stop calls from the prosecution and state police for an even harsher sentence. Fox 61's Jamal Johnson was in court in New Britain and brings us the details.
Prosecution brought up a history of criminal activity for Alex Oyola Sanchez to try and persuade the judge to give him a harsher sentence in the death of State Trooper First Class Aaron Pelletier. But supporters of Pelletier and his family say that no sentence can make up for the loss of a husband and a father.
There's a charge of manslaughter in the first degree that you be committed to the custody of Commissioner of Corrections for a period of 18 years to serve.
As the sentencing came down for Alex Oyola Sanchez, so did tears from family members and supporters of State Trooper First Class Aaron Pelletier. Master Sergeant Todd Fettigan was one of those supporters. Earlier this year, Oyola Sanchez pleaded guilty to manslaughter in Trooper Pelletier's death. State police said he hit Pelletier with his pickup truck last May on I-84 in Southington and kept going. Pelletier was conducting a traffic stop on the side of the highway at the time. Sanchez didn't have much to say, but he did have a message for Pelletier's family.
Trooper Pelletier was not only an amazing husband and father, he was a brother to over 900 Connecticut state troopers who still mourn his death and have faith that our judicial system will see to it that the individual responsible for his death is held accountable to the fullest extent of the law.
I'm sorry, because it was not my intention.
Is that it?
I ask the family for forgiveness.
Some of Trooper Pelletier's relatives were in court, but they say they did not want to comment on the sentencing. In New Britain, Jamel Johnson, Fox 61.